A record stand on the Senate floor ignites both sides of the debate over Obamacare, with a government shutdown creeping closer. This is Special Report. Good evening, I'm Brett Baer. One senator has definitively grabbed the spotlight in the battle to defund Obamacare, getting the ire of some, the adulation of others. And one thing is clear. People are talking about Texas Senator Ted Cruz, and they're talking about Obamacare too. With the government shutdown potentially just 5 days away, the question is what happens next with this effort to fund the government without funding the president's health care law. We have Fox team coverage tonight. Ed Henry's at the White House with what critics charge is some fuzzy math to polish Obamacare's image. But we begin with Chief Congressional Correspondent Mike Emanuel watching the action on Capitol Hill and the reaction to Senator Cruz and his long stand on the floor. Good evening, Mike.
Well, Brett, good evening. A bill to fund the government temporarily and defund Obamacare moves forward after a marathon session on the floor and passing a procedural hurdle.
On this vote, the yeas are 100, the nays are 0.
A stopgap government funding bill passed an initial vote, although it defunds Obamacare. All say they want to avoid a government shutdown, and top Democrats plan to strip the aspect affecting the health care law. The vote came after Texas conservative Ted Cruz spoke against Obamacare for more than 21 hours and was cheered when he finished. And though Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell did not join Cruz on the floor, he also saluted the effort.
Obamacare is wrong for America and needs to be repealed. The senator from Texas is focused on the dangers of this law, explaining once again why we are all of us on this side of the aisle committed to overturning it.
Cruz says he tried to frame the debate for the American public and to get Washington to listen to the people.
If we listen to our constituents, the answer is defund this bill that isn't working, that's hurting the American people, that's killing jobs, that's forcing people into part-time work, that's driving up health insurance premiums, and that's causing millions to lose or fear that they will lose their health insurance.
Realizing he's ruffled some feathers, Cruz addressed some of the name-calling he has faced, along with fellow conservative Kentucky Senator Rand Paul.
If it reflects a fidelity to the Constitution, a fidelity to liberty, and a willingness to fight to defend the principles this country was founded on, then I believe I can speak for you and Rand and Congressman Amash, and I think quite a few others of us are very, very proud wacko birds.
After dawn, Kansas Senator Pat Roberts offered to buy Cruz breakfast.
How are you doing?
I am doing fabulous. I'm motivated by the American people right now.
At one point, with so much talk time, Cruz read a famous Dr. Seuss story to his daughters.
I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham.
Later, Democrat Chuck Schumer said his colleague missed the point of the story.
I don't know if he read it, because green eggs and ham has a moral. Don't criticize something, don't reject something until you actually try it.
The Senate Majority Leader called Cruz's marathon speech a big waste of time, while others defended him.
The American people know that every hour that he has spoken or speaks pushes us another hour closer to a Republican government shutdown.
We are not going to allow this country to socialize medicine. We're going to fight it, fight it, fight it.
100 to 0 means Cruz also voted yes. He explained it as everyone agrees the conversation should start, and the critical vote is yet to come. Brett?
Right, and that critical vote, according to Cruz and according to timing, is later this week. Are we thinking Friday, Saturday?
Probably late night Friday, early Saturday morning, when 1, they will vote to essentially stop debate, 2, strip out or add the Obamacare money, and then 3, final passage, Brett.
Okay, Mike Emanuel on the Hill. Mike, thanks. Republicans are making it clear the president's health care overhaul belongs to the Democrats now and in future elections, while Democrats are just trying to get across the October 1st starting line without losing any more public support. Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry has that part of the story.
One day after President Obama turned to the Clintons to help sell his controversial health care law, the administration put out a shiny new report claiming 95% of eligible uninsured Americans could get policies with lower premiums, except you have to listen carefully to the fine print.
Premiums nationwide will also be around 16% lower than originally expected.
As in the White House was only able to claim premiums will be lower than originally projected by comparing newly projected rates for 2014 against what the Congressional Budget Office originally projected for 2016, rather than actually doing an apples-to-apples comparison of what people are currently paying compared to what they will pay in 2014 after implementation.
This is not an apples to apples. It's a apple full of worms compared to an apple that's fresh and delicious.
The public may not find so delicious a competing report in the Wall Street Journal, finding premiums are going up for young people when the insurance exchanges open on October 1st. In Nashville, a 27-year-old male non-smoker could pay just $41 a month now for a slimmed-down policy, but would shell out $114 for the lowest-cost bronze option in an exchange. In Philadelphia, the same 27-year-old will see the cost for bronze rise to $195 a month from $73. And in Cheyenne, bronze would soar to $271 a month from $82.
So that apple not so nice?
Well, look, I don't know.
The Wall Street Journal, pretty credible.
I'm simply about to say that I didn't read all the examples in there.
Yesterday with the Clintons, the president contended 27-year-old women will fare well.
You get on that exchange, you're going to be able to purchase high-quality health insurance for less than the cost of your cell phone bill.
The kumbaya with the Clintons is leading some Republicans to open yet another front in the war on the health care law ahead of the 2016 campaign.
They're selling this bill as hard as they can sell it. I will never call it Obamacare anymore. I'm going to call it Clinton Care.
Now, everyone was expecting the White House to weigh in on Ted Cruz's 21-hour speech there in the Senate, but asked by reporters, Jay Carney just would not take the bait. They're on defense over health care. The last thing they want to do is elevate Cruz as he whips up more opposition, Brett.
Ed Henry live on the North Lawn. Ed, one more thing. There's a new deadline on the debt ceiling.
That's right. October 17th, according to the Treasury Secretary Jack Lew, Speaker John Boehner immediately said, fine, that means we got to get to work and come to a deal here to avoid default. He immediately came up with a one-page grab bag of all kinds of goodies Republicans want to add in exchange for the debt ceiling getting lifted, including a one-year delay to the president's health care law. Jay Carney immediately said, we're not going to negotiate over that, so they are still at a standstill, Brett.
Okay, another deadline. Ed, thank you. The American dream is many things to many people, so it's not exactly something you could measure, right? Well, right until now. Chief Washington correspondent James Rosen takes us through it tonight.
Brett, good evening. To so many of us, it seems as though the American dream, that loosely defined ideal, is slipping away. Now a research team at Xavier University in Ohio has developed something called the American Dream Composite Index. It's a monthly survey of 1,000 Americans that measures people's aspirations and feelings about economic conditions, their own well-being, the institutions around them, and other factors. So the numbers from August found Xavier's American Dream Index scoring just under 65. It's not a percentage of Americans, mind you, but a rating for the country as a whole, and it tells us America is about 2/3 of the way toward fulfilling the American dream. 68 is the minimum healthy measurement, but the folks at Xavier say this unique index has also enabled them to begin predicting weeks in advance and with surprising accuracy Uncle Sam's own numbers. So let's take a further look. Xavier's researchers predicted on May the 10th that the third quarter GDP would show a growth rate of 2.2%. Some 4 months later, the Commerce Department released its final revised figure, 2.5%. Not bad. Likewise, on August 12th, the American Dream Index forecast that for the month of August, the average number of new jobless claims filed each week would be just under 337,000. The final figure released by the Labor Department was just under 332,000. Here's a look at Xavier's success over the last 2 years in predicting final quarterly GDP numbers. The red line charts Xavier's predictions, the yellow line, the government's final numbers.
It's a robust survey, a robust collection of the thoughts and feelings and aspirations of people living in the United States. And if you wrap it all up into one number and take a step back, what you find out is it's one of the broadest, deepest quality of life measures that exists. And it really does tell the story of people living in the States as they go about their daily lives.
The latest quarterly GDP numbers will be released tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Keep it tuned here to find out how accurate Xavier's latest prediction will prove to be. Brett?
James, thank you. Up next, chilling scenes from inside the Washington Navy Yard on the day of the massacre there. First, here's what some of our Fox affiliates across the country are covering tonight. WNYW is following the search for a suspect in this morning's deadly shooting at a lighting company on Long Island. One person dead, another injured there. WDRB in Louisville has a soldier home from Afghanistan meeting his daughter for the first time. And this is a live look at our Houston affiliate, Fox affiliate KRIV. They're featuring a robotic arm tonight built by students at Rice University that will help one student make an easier transition to college. That's tonight's live look outside the Beltway from Special Report. We'll be right back.